Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good day. Today we're going to have a discussion about investment properties because it's something that is on the minds of a lot of my clients right now, and even myself, because the market conditions are quite favorable to purchasing property across the GTA. And so if we're thinking about investment properties, it seems like now would be a really good time. There is a strong rental market and our purchasing market is a little bit down. So the first thing I want to talk about is now the good time for you to buy an investment property. And given all things considered with the market, I would say now is probably a really good time. The fact that we have a lot of inventory in the GTA, combined with the fact that our prices have dropped a little bit and we're coming into the holiday season, now seems like it would be a really good time for you to be able to get a good opportunity. So if something that you're thinking about, I would probably do it sooner than later in the next couple of months. The next thing that we really need to figure out is why you are thinking about purchasing a property, because for some people it might be for them to retire into in 20 years. Maybe they're looking at a condo that they're hoping their kids will buy or move into after they're gone to university or something like that. So, but for most of us, when we're talking about investing, we are thinking about what we are going to have for our portfolio long term. And so that's really what we're going to address a little bit more today, because when we talk about different areas that you should be considering purchasing in or how much you should be spending, I'm really talking about you adding to your overall real estate investment portfolio, something that you can cash flow from. And when we talk about cash flow, what I mean is that after your expenses are paid, I expect that your property will be generating you some type of an income. And from my perspective, if it's not doing that, it's probably not the right property for you. So let's talk about that a little bit further. Where to buy? Should you buy in the city or should you buy in other parts of the GTA? And a lot of that's going to depend on your budget. But what I will tell you that is from my own personal experience and perspective, you're better off, if you're like the average person and you don't have tons of money to spend on an investment, you're better off to consider looking at some of the markets that are a little bit lower price point. Because when you compare rent from one market to another, you're going to find that there's not a huge amount of difference, but the purchasing price might be a really big difference between, let's say, Hamilton and Toronto. So what are the markets I like? I like Hamilton. I like Durham region. Oshawa is very good right now. I like Barrie, Kingston, and Windsor, and some of the other areas in between. So those are definitely some areas that I would consider buying in. You can, for example, and I've got an example down here, buy an investment property in Hamilton for about $300,000, maybe a duplex, and you might get between $2,000 and $2,500 a month rent for that. You are going to pay for that similar type of property in Toronto, more like $850 or higher. And maybe you'll get a little bit more money in rent, but is it going to cash flow? So what I'm encouraging you to do is take a look at all of that information when you're thinking about buying something and figure out how much money you're going to have at the end of the month. I think the mistake a lot of buyers make is when they are thinking about an investment property, they want something that's in a great neighborhood, they're going to spend more money for it, and they think it's going to increase higher than some of the other markets across the GTA, but it's actually just not the case. You could buy something in Windsor or Hamilton or Kingston, and it's almost going to escalate at the same rate as a property in Toronto, and it's going to be a lot less for you. So there are affordable options out there. The other big concern people have is if I buy something in Kingston and I don't live there, what do I do? Well, you hire a property management company and they are everywhere and they offer really good services for you to have this opportunity. Most of them are charging about 6 or 8% of your rent, which is not very much, and so it gives you a good opportunity to have that property managed and well taken care of. And I'm certainly happy to provide some references for you or some property management company referrals. Then the other big question is, do I buy a house or a condo? And that kind of goes back to the cash flow point again, because if you're looking at buying a condo, especially in the city, chances are you are not going to be generating any income from that. So by the time you pay your maintenance fees and the rent that you get in, I have not yet seen many properties that get more than, a very small return, probably 1 or 2% return. And that's just not enough, quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned. So if you're going to buy something like a condo because you're thinking it's less maintenance, I don't want to worry about it. Listen, any real estate is good investment, but I'm saying if you're comparing apples to apples, you're probably better off trying to buy something in, the GTA where it's a little bit more affordable. Those are my opinions about the whole matter. I would be happy to discuss further. I certainly own properties all over the place, and I appreciate the differences in the markets, and I can guide you and steer you in the right direction. Whether or not it's a market I am working in, I certainly probably have some information about it that I'd be happy to share. So I hope you have a great day, and as always, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Bye-bye.